All right, so here we got a new sailboat, or well, new was in 1968. So this is a 16-foot Starcraft Upstart from 1968. We got it from somebody pretty cheap that we know, and it's definitely got some flaws. We've already had it for a couple weeks, and I've gotten some work done on it. One thing that we had done is I had 3D printed these covers, but a hailstorm came and broke them, so I'll have to redo that. Of course, the plastic on these is not quite right, but the sail is in great shape. The fiberglass seems like it's just fine, and all the lines are good. So the big thing that we're worried about is that where the center board goes in, we noticed that water was leaking into kind of the cavity underneath this, and we can drain it out just fine, but we're worried where it's getting in, and so that's underneath here. And so you can see I've taken some of the screws out, but so we're gonna take this plate off on the bottom and then try to just kind of see what's underneath that. And we're probably gonna have to fill in some cracks with Bondo or whatnot. So, well, Hannah's out of town right now. I am gonna try to get some of this work done on this and to kind of see where we can go from there. All right, so we're underneath the boat, and I got that strip all taken off. All the screws came out, and they were in pretty rough shape. Some of them rusted in half, weren't too good. And I was a little worried when I'd look under here if I'd be able to pinpoint where the leak is coming from, and I think I found it. It's right up here. I'll get the flash on for you. All right, there you are. So, it's kind of hard to see, but right along. All right, so there it is. So, can't tell exactly what happened, but it sure looks like there's a pretty big hole in there. Everywhere else along the centerboard hole looks great, except for there. So we'll have to check that out some more, but I think that looks like it's where it's coming from. All right, so I got all that junk off, and it's looking pretty rough. So you can see there used to be some wood in there, and on this side it is completely disintegrated. There's little bits of wood up here, and this side looks like it's definitely more intact. All right, I'm back. So here you can see I've taken a closer look at it. So what it appears like is that there were these two pieces of fiberglass, and then looks like there was some plywood in between it. So here, so you can see, but the plywood is long gone. But so it goes about that deep, so about 3 inches, maybe 4. So I think that my plan of attack for this is going to be to kind of rip this top off, and we'll get some plywood, preferably marine grade, and then we're gonna just put that in there and then put some Bondo over it. All right, so it's actually 2 days later now, and I was working on this some yesterday, but I didn't get any video of it. But I basically spent a bunch of time yesterday and today cleaning this whole thing up. I took a Dremel tool and just kind of cleaned up this edge a little bit and get down to the good fiberglass. And then I cleaned out all the wood and vacuumed, and yeah, so this part's looking a lot better, but I'm gonna come back to this maybe tonight when it cools down some. And we also got some plywood over there that we can cut up and put in here. But yeah, I think I'm gonna come back to this when it's cooler. And then, so today I am going to work on the hole down there. The way I'm gonna do that is I think I'm basically just gonna clean it up a little bit more on the underside. And I think I'm gonna use this to spread Bondo on that hole from the underside. And then we're gonna just kind of try that, and it's gonna take some time, but I think I'll figure it out and we'll see how that goes. All right, so I've been working on the boat a fair amount lately. It's the next day now, and I haven't really gotten a chance to video a whole lot, but here I'll kind of show you where I'm at. So down there, I have completely filled that crack, and basically the best we can figure is it kind of seems like this whole thing was starting to split open as the wood rotted. And it seems like the centerboard had dropped down and kind of just tore through the fiberglass as it fell. So that would explain kind of where that whole thing came from. And I guess that makes sense. So what I have done is we cut some plywood. This isn't marine plywood, this is just treated plywood, but we're gonna make a good seal so that it doesn't get wet anyway, so that shouldn't be a problem. And then, so we cut that to size, and I used a chisel to kind of take that out to get it to size. And then I started using Bondo just to kind of seal that in there, and just kind of glue it together. I've been using clamps just on there, try to clamp that together to get it so there's no gaps, because it was starting to separate. I'm trying to avoid that, and this wood will kind of really help it not separate. Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of Cooking with Ben. So today I'm going to be showing you how to cook an egg on a sailboat. So, might be asking, well, Ben, how do you cook an egg on a sailboat that doesn't have a stove? Now, what you don't know is this is not your ordinary sailboat. This is a very special sailboat, and it actually comes with a secret feature that most people don't know about, and that is the centerboard stove. So, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna set your centerboard stove to high. So here, I've waited for the sun to come out, and now that it's out, I also set up the rudder just to kind of help reflect sun onto it, to help heat it up, and we'll just wait for that to heat up on high. Right on there. Running down a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, here we go. We're gonna try that one more time, and we tried to level it just a little bit. So, and I also have a rock here just in case. It's okay. Sometimes you're cooking on an uneven surface. That's okay. Just gotta kind of learn as you go. So here we're gonna crack this egg. We'll use the oil that's already there, and you can just split it right onto. All right, and here you have it. Our finished cooked egg. So here you can season with some salt, and we'll put a little bit of pepper on there as well. And our recipe is complete. All right, so in all seriousness, I'll give you a quick update on all that I've done. So one big part that I did was this. So this kind of seems like it was the origin of all the cracks. So what I did is I 3D printed a part right here. And so it cracked while I was taking it out. But the purpose of this part was to kind of be a template that I could fit in here. And I'd fill it in with Bondo, put this in, and I took it out. Let's see, it's a little tough. Again, I took it out, and then I was able to use that as a template. And then I've got this. So this is where the center board will actually fit in. And now it's well shapen, and it didn't take hours of work, and yeah, it turned out pretty good. Another big part I did was finish up this whole side and the other side. So what I did in that was basically just put some Bondo in between the crack, and I'd clamp it down. And that's just making sure the fiberglass isn't going to separate from the wood. And then here, I'll show you what I've done to the bottom. I haven't done a whole lot, but I've basically just filled all the holes with some of that foam, and I drilled this one back out just to fill them with Bondo. And so kind of the rest of this is just going to be cleaning up this edge with Bondo. And then I have also, you come over here, I have also made a seal for the bottom, and it's got the same slit idea. And then I've attached it to the bottom plate so that when I have the bottom all ready, all we have to do is just screw this on. All right, so call me crazy, but tonight I am going to be working through the night, I think. So it's been a couple days. I've kind of gotten busy, and we went on a trip for a little bit. But so I'm back at working at this. All right, so it is currently 1:23 in the morning, and I think I have the bottom pretty much all prepped and done. So I think I have this done all the way up and down. Still got to drill the hole for that, but I think that should be good. This is good all the way down there too. And I ended up deciding not to use the angled piece for a lot of this, because it seemed easier just to kind of just spread it on, and it seemed to work really well. I think I'll probably use the angled piece for the top, because that matters more that it's a right angle, but that method did work really well, but I think it just wasn't as efficient as it could be on this part. But yeah, there was a little spot down there that had some water leaking, so that had some issues. But I just kind of drilled out the spot and then put the Bondo in there to give it a little more surface area, and that seemed to work out great. All right, so 4:40 in the morning, and I'm gonna be calling it for now. Trying to get some sleep, but I'll show you what I got. So I ended up using the longer piece as well. So I used those two pieces, and I basically just kind of worked on shaping this edge in a couple spots. There's definitely some spots I need to work on yet, like there, but just kind of got the general idea. And then, yeah, so I'll have to fill in some gaps like that. and then we'll need to smooth it all over. And then after that, we can paint, then put all the stuff back on. I also noticed that the center board was having a hard time fitting in. So what I had to do is I had to stand in between there, which was pretty difficult. So what I ended up doing was taking this board and I put some sandpaper on the end and I just kind of wedged it down there and sanded like that. So didn't work great, but it worked well enough. And yeah, so now it's all fixed. Yeah, I guess that's where we're at for now. Perfect. Not to mention, oh. Come on. Here.
No. No. No.
Say hi, Hannah.
Recommend a try.
You want to give it a try?
Yeah.
All right. Not bad.
I'm gonna try.
And then you just slide it in. And then you got it for halfway.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Hannah back here. I have not recorded for a little while since just got busy working on it, but here's some of the things we did. So we've got the whole centerboard area all good. Finished patching with Bondo, and then threw a little paint on it. And then put the rubber seal on it, and that all went good. Then the centerboard, it used to have this, that rope would hold up the centerboard, but that got, just kind of got in the way of stuff, and yeah, not great. So we changed it out for a handle up at the top and a pin at the bottom that will hold it up. And we've got another hole part way up. Underneath there, that's all done too. Finished patching up the hole, threw the seal on it. What else? Oh, and then we have a little plug for the bilge. We actually just took it out sailing today and yesterday, and there was a fair amount of water in the bilge, but I don't know, I think it's mostly coming from the plug and then running in. So what we did is we got a plug that we can just stick in the hole back there, and that'll be all good. Dad, any improvements?
Lots of improvements.
Oh, and then here, Hannah, come over here. Show off the paint.
We got a new, beautiful light blue, along with the white, which was by the centerboard, but you can't see it very well.
Yeah, it's a little bit dirty, but
Dirty. But yeah, we got our new blue, which is really close to the other one, but it looks a lot nicer.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then show off the clips.
We got new stainless steel clips, thanks to Ben's dad,
Thanks, Dad.
which work really well.
And yeah, then we've got our 3D printed one down there, but I think we'll try to get a stainless steel one for that too. And then right now we have it on the nicer boat trailer because we're hoping to take it on a trip next week.
Woohoo!
So yeah, we'll see how that all goes, but I think we're calling it And we're gonna call it on the improvements for the moment. And yeah, just wait till we get on our trip. All right, well, see ya.